Bill Belichick and Tom Brady make their seventh Super Bowl appearance. You've watched this team for the last 16 years, win 11 conference championships. You watch Bill Belichick plug and play. As long as he's got Brady out there, he's all right. Do you see any similarities between the two of what's trying to be installed here by Mike Babcock and Lou Lamoriello? Because, and I know it's crazy to draw the two comparisons.
No, I think it's a great comparison. I think it's a great question.
Yeah?
I do. It's funny. Like, I like to ask, coaches and players and executives, what book are you reading? Because one of the things I find, Dean, is that you get a better understanding of the people you are covering if you find out what they're reading and read it. Now, it's impossible to keep up with everyone, but, you try to do it as much as possible. So a few years ago when Babcock was still in Detroit, I asked him, what are you reading? And he read, and he said, The Education of a Coach, which is a book about Bill Belichick. So I don't think you're drawing a really far line here. I think it's just funny that that was the book that he mentioned, and it talks all about how Belichick was molded into the person he is. And as a matter of fact, Belichick's one of his favorite books was by his dad. It's a scouting book, and it's really old, but I actually ordered it and started reading it because I wanted to get some understanding of the way he thinks. And if you watch that NFL Films video about the Patriots, about their most recent Super Bowl win over Seattle, there's really good stuff in there about Belichick. And basically, they're losing a game, and he runs over to them and he yells at his defense, "Do your job. Stop trying to do everybody else's job. Do your job." Then they cut to Belichick, and he's kind of got a little smirk on his face, and he says, well, there's a bit more than that. It's implied, do your job well. And the players in Toronto last year and this year will tell you that one of the things about Babcock they learned is they knew what their roles were. They knew what was expected of them. I remember having a conversation with Brad Boyes about it last year. He said he liked playing for Babcock and said, this is what you're expected to do. This is where you're expected to be on the ice. And he found it very easy to play for somebody like that. So I think, Belichick's big thing is do your job well. I think there's a lot of that in Babcock. Do your job well, and don't try to do somebody else's job. Do your job. I think the other thing, too, Dean, is they both got juice. If you're going to New England, it doesn't matter how any other team is run. You know that Bill Belichick's in charge, and if you don't do it his way, you're gone. And he's got the power. And if you look at Babcock, the players walk in there, they know that he's making more money than all of them on his contract, and he's got a lot of control. So I think that if you don't listen to this guy, you're going to be out. And I think they have to respect that.